to the Sega Does Podcast, episode 7. I'm Sam the Pixel Dude, one of your hosts, alongside me, virtually to my left, as always, over there in the Americas. We have the NES Encyclopedia, soon to be the Sega Sorcerer. That is the Dylan D. Say hi, Dylan.
Hi, Sam. Your intros are fabulous. I just want to say thank you very much.
That's okay. I'm pretty awesome. Right.
I know.
Not to blow my own trumpet, but I'm pretty cool. Now, okay, cut that bit out. What the hell are we talking about? Okay, home module. Okay, right. We are here on this crazy ass podcast to talk about every single game ever released for a Sega console ever. Last time we talked about some weird and wonderful games such as Cubert, Space Mountain, Golgo 13, August, and Pachinko 2. That's right, there was 2 of them.
Yeah. Crazier games.
There was a bad game podcast, actually. There wasn't many good games.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
what do we expect though? I mean, this is SG-1000.
that's true. But we did
what we can get.
We did get out of 1983, and we are now in the realms of 1984 for a short little trip.
Yes.
Yes. So today we have, for your listening pleasure, Home Mahjong, Lode Runner, Safari Race, Champion Boxing, and Champion Soccer. And are we doing Hustle, Chummy?
We'll hold off on that one.
Okay, we'll hold off on that one.
Because you haven't played it.
No. Yeah. What a name, though. Hustle, Chummy.
And you should play it because it's really good.
Is it? We'll see about that. August was really good. But we didn't seem to agree on it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
August was good, eh? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, we have, to start off with, and I'm going to let our resident Japanese expert say this.
Oh.
Home Mahjong.
Well, I guess Sega's reasoning for calling it Home Mahjong was that it's a Mahjong game you play at home.
Okay, question. Where else do you play Mahjong?
I'm sure there's places around to play it in Japan. Little, like we have bingo halls in America.
Okay.
A lot of older people frequent there. I'm sure they have Mahjong halls or something. Or they play it in the park.
Now they can stay at home with their SG-1000.
Yes. Yep. You played the original Mahjong, yes?
Well, I tried.
You tried. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing, just with more options.
Like what?
Interestingly, there's only one player option. And yeah, so they really want you to play this with 2 people, and you can either play it, you get a friend of yours, play it against each other, or you can do 2-on-2 against the computer. So making for 4-player Mahjong, which is actually how the game is supposed to be set up, is with 4 people.
Right. And
the only 1-player option is 1 player against 3 computer opponents, which I found a little overwhelming. Yeah. I don't know why that was the only 1-player option, but that's whatever. So when you select anything against the computer, so even if you're doing 2-on-2 or 1-on-3, this option screen with all these options in katakana come up, and I just didn't even know what to do. I thought I'll just pick things at random, and that's what I did. And Started playing Mahjong and felt a little better about that. But for the most part, I had no idea what I was doing. There was a lot more Japanese text or script in this version of Mahjong. So unless you know Japanese, I really, really wouldn't recommend it. But maybe you can struggle your way through it. Did you try this one, Sam? Did you give it a whirl?
I I turned it on. And,
Oh, good.
and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you just were like, nope,
nope.
Screw this.
Good
yeah,
for you though.
I don't blame you.
No. What did you give it?
I gave it a B.
You gave it a B?
How what am I supposed to do? It's Mahjong.
You gave August a C minus, and you gave
I know.
a game you can't even read a B.
But I know it's a good Mahjong game. I know it is.
What?
It's better than the Mahjong game.
That's bad journalism. Speculation.
Okay. I don't pretend to be a journalist at all, but here's the thing. What do I pretend to be? I pretend to be a writer who writes about these games. It's a
I'm starting to doubt this fact.
It's a facade. Here's my thought process, okay? If you take my two grades, Home Mahjong has a B. My understanding of Home Mahjong is a D plus. You put them together, it's about a C. It's about a C.
Right.
Because here's the thing. How can I give a Mahjong game a grade? I probably shouldn't have given it one.
There's your answer.
There you go. So, but it's too late. I could edit it out, but I'm not going to.
I know you won't.
It's a B.
And you won't upgrade August either.
No, I won't.
No.
August. You know, I should start leaving
Hashtag upgrade August.
Should start leaving your takes on games. If we violently disagree, then I should start leaving your takes. Oh, well, you know, not actual fisticuffs or anything, but
you're a bit far away for that.
Yeah.
Depends how much you piss me off. I could get on a plane. Where's that bearded man?
Yeah.
You seen this guy? He's got weird views on August. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Everybody knows who that
guy
is.
Can't stop playing pachinko too. Oh, I know that guy.
Oh, well, now let's not say things we can't take back.
Let's get scratching.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Now, this game I haven't played, unfortunately. We have... Now, how is this pronounced? Because it's spelt wrong. If it's how I think it's pronounced.
Lode Runner?
Yeah.
Lode Runner? That's how it's pronounced. Lode Runner.
Okay, Lode Runner. Now, it says here, licensed from...
Broderbund.
Broderbund. Now, what's that about?
Well, Broderbund created the original computer version of Lode Runner.
Right.
Many people remember Broderbund as the creators of the Carmen Sandiego series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pretty awesome back in the 80s and early 90s. They also, if I'm not mistaken, no, that was Software Toolworks created Mario's Missing. I thought Broderbund had a hand in that one too, but Software Toolworks. Never mind. Crisis averted.
Now who's being nasty?
Yeah. Broderbund doesn't deserve that. So I guess this port is by Compile, who is like the equivalent of like a Nintendo second party, like Retro Studios. So while Sega didn't develop this, they basically did. That's kind of what that means. Um, so you didn't check this one out, huh?
I couldn't find a copy in time, unfortunately.
Oh no. Okay.
But it looks really cool. Now, one thing it says in really nice 80s cutout letters on the front of the box is by using the keyboard, create your own original maze games. Now, is the game actually about just creating your own mazes, or are there pre-made mazes all ready to go?
There are pre-made mazes. Believe there are 50 of them,
Ooh.
but you can make your own if you have the SC3000 keyboard attachment. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And gives the game a lot more depth than SG-1000 users are probably used to.
Well, just the fact that it's got 50 mazes is like, where the hell did that come from? Because we haven't seen anything with more than 3 stages so far. You know, that's a.
It makes me think it's a lot of levels.
Yeah.
It makes me think that some of the developers are just lazy and wanting to. Well, some of the developers, Sega is lazy with a lot of their games, a lot of their ports, because if this can work with 50 levels, I mean, yeah, it's graphically not that interesting, but it runs really fast and really smooth, which is also that's a plus and a negative.
Right.
Because the Lode Runner, the only other Lode Runner I've played is on the NES, and it takes its time, which I think is a better. It's a better way of playing the game. Like it's hard to say because if you haven't played it, because it really is just a super fast game. It's lightning fast.
It's the Sega
but
way.
It is the Sega way. It's that blast processing
Yep.
2 generations earlier. But all the little, as you can see in the screenshot, there's all these little red guys that are coming against you, and they all move as fast as you do, pretty much. So
right.
It can be really, and they're all programmed obviously to come after you. So it can be pretty brutal.
What's the idea then? You got to collect all the white pellets or whatever they are.
Yeah, they look like peppermints, but they're actually gold. It's supposed to be gold bags.
Gold. Oh, 84. Brilliant. Right. Okay. So once you collect all of them, as soon as you touch the last one, is that it? Is it?
Yeah, and then a ladder will appear.
Magic ladder.
And leads you to the next level.
Okay.
So it's you as the Lode Runner have the ability to make holes in the brick so that your little opponents can fall into them.
Cool.
And then can be used as stepping stones, or yeah, which is kind of funny. Or if they stay in the hollowed out brick long enough, the brick will swallow them up and kill them, but then they'll just reappear at the top of the screen.
Cool.
So it's a neat little puzzle game. I felt like the SG-1000 version was a bit too hard, actually, because of its speed. But in general, I think Lode Runner is a pretty ingenious game, and as far as I know, it's been revamped every generation. Like I think the PS3 has a Lode Runner.
Wow.
Now that's all HD. Yeah. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I read that when I was doing research for this one. So yeah.
So we gave that a C.
Yeah.
So better than August, huh?
Yep. Yeah, okay. You should check it out.
Now this next game is not better than August. I think we'll agree. And
this game is something.
We have Safari Race.
Yeah.
Now I would like to know one thing.
Okay.
What are you racing against?
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. That's what I thought. Okay, now we can start bad mouthing again. So, now you made a good point here. The first game we believe, at least on a Sega console, to have a licensed car.
Yeah.
Now, does it anywhere in the game say Lancia?
Nope.
No.
But it does on the box.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it says Lancia on the cover
Where?
on the car.
Oh, it does behind the headlight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Now,
And you can see the Audi symbol
that's
on the
true,
car behind you.
but you can't drive an Audi.
Nope. Just the Lancia. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see, I got a few problems with that because you can't actually see the word Lancia. You can see an L, an A, an N, an I, and an A.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I'm not being cynical, but I think that's on purpose.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think if they actually had the Lancia logo, the Lancia license, it'd have been on the game somehow.
Hmm.
I think this was one of those just before copyright in digital media became a thing. I think this one just snuck under the radar.
That's a good point. And it too, especially because the supposed Audi Quattros
Yeah.
don't even look anything like Quattros in the
Well, I don't
game.
know. Not far away, but the actual Audi Quattro was white. So it was white with a yellow
It
strip.
wasn't see-through black. It wasn't stencil black.
No.
Oh
Um,
man.
but anyway, so I don't know. I think that's a little bit, mm, a little bit of poetic license, shall we say? But it
About as
does.
shifty as the rest of the game,
Yeah.
that's for
My
sure.
God. Right. So this is. I hesitant to call it a racing game.
You're racing against your fuel gauge, which decreases
Right.
so rapidly. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. It was it 20 seconds, 25 seconds,
Something like that. Yeah.
something like that. It's too quick. Anyway, so basically, it's a racing game. Cameras behind you. You move left and right. You do go around corners as very limited for obviously like pre 3D racing games. Obviously, the background, the road is moving and the car isn't. Obviously, it's just going left to right. I'm sure everyone who plays retro games knows this. Um, but it's terrible. It's really bad. The control. It's kind of brilliant. It's weird because the way it's set up, it kind of is realistic. How you can leave, like as you go around the corner, you can leave, like you can go to the outer edge of the corner. Your car, say the turn's going right, you can turn into the corner, but your actual car will stay there, as in it's going round the corner. It is actually because normally the car would just move over to the right
Right.
on these kind of 2D races, but it doesn't. It does actually like stay as if you were turning right in that third of the road. It is kind of right, but
I
not.
I actually thought that the car physics weren't that bad,
Yeah,
such as they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
uh the amount of things that can hit you. Well, I mean, what have we got? Elephants, deer, trees. What else is there?
There's like a herd of gazelle. Oh
That's
well,
right.
you said the deer, yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
the
there was a
I believe
bird.
there's rhinos.
There's rhinos. Yeah, there's a
There's
bird.
random like boulders or something on
Yeah,
the road.
you're in the middle of the desert. And it's a fucking boulder just like, oh, there we go. Brilliant. Um,
Yeah,
sound effects quite good.
yeah, they're not bad.
Not bad.
Uh, the biggest issue is that you have to refill your gas tank.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot like Zippy Race, but not as good.
exactly. There are gas pumps, just the pumps, not like stations, just random pumps on the side of the road at random intervals. I've tested this. Each game is different. So like I reset the game a few times, and each time the pumps appeared at different times. So you can't even guess when they're gonna show up. You're racing along 300 kilometers an hour, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta slam on the brakes. And
that's the other thing about
Yeah.
this, right? The first time I played this, how do you go forward in this kind of racing game? You either hold a button down or you press forward, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Press forward in this game, it will take you to 80 kilometers an hour, and then it stops. And then you sit there thinking, is this as fast as this goes? Surely not. What you have to do then, so you press forward, and then you press backwards to go faster.
Yeah. And that's it. It's not like you're shifting. It's not like you have to press up, down,
No,
all the
'cause
time.
The first thing, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. And it would have made sense. But
nope.
You press up to start, get to 80, shift down, and that's it.
That's it.
And it is not intuitive.
No. I thought the top speed was actually quite slow as well.
300?
Yeah, it didn't seem to, if you were half competent at the game, you didn't seem to have to slow down at all. You could just stick it at 300 and stay there.
That's very true. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because you have to slam on the brakes to get to the gas pump.
Do you think?
So if you have to align yourself, you have to align the car just so with the gas pump. And if you don't, you can't like reverse.
Nope.
You have to just go forward and find the next one. But the problem with that is you won't
get to the next one.
Yeah, you won't get to the next one. You can probably miss one fuel pump. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's generous. And sometimes you can't even miss any, because every time you restart the game, they're at different locations throughout the race. So sometimes there's two at really close intervals, and other times there's one. You see one, and then you won't see any, and then your fuel will run out. It's just a mess of a game.
We gave it an F.
Gave it an F. And
Right,
it deserves an F.
It does deserve an F. Terrible.
It's a shame, because like I'm looking at the screenshots and I'm like, wow, that Lancia ripoff looks really good, and so do the mountains. Mountains look really good, and like this could have been a decent game.
Could have.
But you should play Zippy Race though. That's solid.
Zippy Race. Yeah. So we'll leave that. Safari. What is it with games with Safari in?
Sega loves poaching.
Was Safari like as a industry was going on Safari picking up in the? I suppose it was really, wasn't it, in the early 80s?
I think it was 80s, 90s, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Got Roger
I
Moore.
say that like I know what I'm talking about.
Roger Moore in his Safari suits.
Yeah, cool runnings, you know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Cool runnings. What the?
All right, moving on.
Moving on
to Champion Boxing.
Champion Boxing. Let's bash the crap out of this. Right. This got me confused.
How so?
Well, to start off with, I thought it might be purely through the way you choose your attacks. I thought it was a turn-based boxing game.
Oh, it'd be interesting.
But it's not.
No.
Now, the way they've got around the fact that the SG only has 2 buttons on this game is one button selects what kind of punch you're going to throw, and the other button throws it. So you've got a choice between, what was it, straight, uppercut, jab.
And that's it.
That's it. So basically, you can move your guy from left to right on side scrolling, or you're on a side view. You can like thrust him into your opponent, which like gives you a bit more power, I think, which is quite cool. Was there a block? I couldn't find a block. I don't think
I couldn't find one either.
No,
even though the other guy had one.
Yeah,
which is
like,
cheap.
How do you do that? I was like, up, down, no.
Yeah.
Was LOR, no, none. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. The graphics are amazing.
The graphics are incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
For SG-1000, let's put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
The crowd looks like a crowd.
I know. Nintendo didn't even do that.
Nope.
With their Famicom sports games.
Mm.
So maybe now is as good a time as any to say, Yu Suzuki worked on this.
Mm.
You know who Yu Suzuki is?
Of course I know who Yu Suzuki is.
You just didn't seem that enthused about it.
Hey, Yu Suzuki.
There you go.
The creator and producer on such hits as, what have got? Virtual Fighter. What else we got? Shenmue. Basically Sega's whole arcade output from this point until about 98. Yu Suzuki had some input in. He really shot to fame when they started doing the early 3D stuff. The Model 1, Model 2 boards. He basically hand-picked the teams for every Sega 3D game for the first decade, basically. But no, so this was his starting point, yeah?
Yeah. This is where he got his
got his kind of quality to it then, I must admit, because he always liked to push the limits to, unlike other producers, I think he is he a director or a producer? What do you think he likes to be?
I think he was both. I mean,
right, okay.
I think he probably went to a producer role later in his career.
Yeah, well, what he always seemed to do in all of his games is he got the best out of his hardware, but without compromising gameplay at all. A lot of games, such as, well, let's try and think something like Team Ico stuff on the PlayStation 2, like Shadow of the Colossus. It looks awesome. Okay, it runs 10 frames a second, and it's really difficult to play. Donkey Kong 64 looks pretty good, runs like a piece of crap. But Yu Suzuki games always looked fantastic and always played fantastic. Always.
Yeah.
This is typical Yu Suzuki. It looks fantastic and plays pretty well as well. For what you could do with 2 buttons in a boxing game at that time, I don't think you could have done much more than this.
The only thing that this game could have improved upon is not throwing you right back to the main menu when you're done fighting your opponent. Which just felt really weird because, okay, when you start the game, there's 5 different difficulty selections. So obviously easy to hardest.
Yeah.
What they should have done is start you off at the first difficulty and then just have you work your way up.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. No, they don't do that. Once you defeat your opponent or get defeated,
well,
you go right back to the main menu.
That's interesting. Now, do you only say that? I know it's hard to think like this. But do you only say that because of Punch Out?
I say that because otherwise the game lasts about 2 minutes.
Right.
It's a super short game.
Because obviously that is the way Punch Out is structured.
Right.
But
and
that was obviously that kind of structure. People were still trying to figure out how to structure games like this. And the obvious way of doing it is select your difficulty.
very true. That's a good point. I just think that I think that what game is there is really well done. I just don't think there's enough there.
Right.
And especially when you consider that Sega released Champion Boxing into the arcade after it was put on the SG-1000.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were obviously very proud of the game, which as they should have been, but they didn't bother to upgrade it for the arcade.
Ooh.
So when you play the arcade game, you're playing the SG-1000, except they're doing what I just said, which is each round
right.
is like so you'll start at the easiest and then go to the hardest. They do that in the arcade. That's the only difference. And it also has the unfortunate Champion Boxing has the unfortunate what am I trying to say? The misfortune of being re-released right next to Punch Out the same year.
Ooh.
So yeah, which makes it look like a pile of crap. Sorry.
Yeah, it does. For an SG-1000 game, this was quite impressive. For a 84 game, probably not so.
Yeah, basically. 84 arcade game, especially.
Oh, yeah. Man, this must look like a piece of crap in the arcades. Wow. If they released it straight out like that, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dear.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Once again, I feel bad for Sega because they probably saw this and were like, wow, this looks amazing. This plays amazing on our system. And it's a fun game. Let's put it in the arcades. Let's just slap it into a monitor and get it going. And all of a sudden Nintendo's like, here's our new boxing game, Punch Out. Whether
oh dear.
Oh man, that's just poor Sega.
Mm.
I think that's going to be our mantra for a while.
Poor Sega.
Until the Genesis.
Poor Sega. Okay. So next, and finally today, very timely because the World Cup is happening as we speak, shall we say?
Yes.
We have Champion Soccer.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun. Now, this is terrible.
Yeah. It's horrible.
I managed to score a few goals.
Did you?
Yeah.
You magnificent bastard. I couldn't even get past the. Okay, I'm terrible with terms, so bear with me.
Oh, here we go.
The halfway.
This is your turn.
The halfway line in the field, on the field, I couldn't get past that for more than like a second.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. One of the things you do not do in this game, and there is no point in doing it because it doesn't work, is pass the ball.
Oh, I don't even know.
No, don't even attempt to pass the ball because it doesn't work. There is no point in other people being there, if I'm honest. Basically, you just get the ball and run as hard as you can towards the other goal. You might meet a piece of resistance called a defender, in which case you'll just run up against him. It will probably go a few times. You might get past him, you might not. If you get past him, you have a shot on goal. God knows how you direct the ball on a shot on goal, because I don't know. I think I scored 2 goals. One of them was a direct shot and it went in. And one of them, I just ran at the keeper with the ball. And I won the battle of resistance and it went in.
That's brilliant. That's awesome.
And that's it. This game is literally get the ball, try your luck running into the opposition. Sometimes you'll get past them, sometimes you won't. That is it.
Yeah. Well, and not even that. Like it's simple, okay? And simplicity is not necessarily a bad thing, though. Here it's super simple. But the players are the movements are so choppy. Like I don't even know what's happening half the time, especially if they're all clustered together.
Yeah.
And did you notice that each player has like a green box around them?
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
But it's obviously the sprite's obviously drawn in a rectangle.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe they couldn't get the transparency to work when it went over one of the. I mean, there's only the white lines for it to go over. Everything else is green. So I don't know. Did you notice the sound?
Yeah.
What on earth is that? It's just. I think it's supposed to be the feet running, right? But
Maybe.
but nobody ever stops on the screen.
No.
So all you
No.
hear is that's it for 10 minutes.
Yeah. My poor wife was drawing on the couch and our computer is right near there. And she's like, "What are you playing?" Like she couldn't focus. So I was like, "I'm sorry. I don't want to play this either." Uh it's I mean, it's obviously Yu Suzuki had nothing to do with this game.
No.
It's such a drastic shift from champion boxing, even though I didn't really I mean that game's okay, but I mean that game is a masterpiece compared to this. This is
Yeah.
just champion soccer is terrible.
Retro Luke says, he commented on this, said, "Well, I was never too into sports games, and this game certainly does nothing to change that. Hopefully Sega gets some good sporting games at some point in the near future, though I suspect they won't until after the SG-1000. I think you're probably right there, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have much knowledge about the Master System right now, but from what I understand, Sega's sports games didn't really get good until what, the late 80s, early 90s?
I seem to remember playing a football game, a soccer game, on the Master System. That's pretty good. I
Oh, okay.
seem to remember that. So we will see. So that's pretty much it for this week. Champion Soccer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, finishing on a high note again. Yay. So what else? What do we have coming up in the near future? Let's have a look. We've got Girls Garden next time. And that's going to be interesting.
And Flicky.
And
Both of
Flicky.
those. Yeah.
You never know. In the next show, we might get to 007 James Bond. Maybe.
Yeah, it depends on how long we take.
Yeah, we do apologize for the lack of episodes, but we're still figuring all these formats out, guys. You got to give us a bit of time. And then we'll be into 85. So we've got some stuff like Choplifter, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
What else we got? Hero, or Hero.
We're gonna get into the Sega card games pretty soon.
That'd be cool.
That's gonna be interesting to see the difference, because the reason Sega went with the card format as opposed to the cartridge is because it was cheaper to develop on, but it also had less space. So as if SG-1000 games needed to be more minimalist.
I was just about to say, I'm looking forward to a week or two when we get to 85, because I want to start seeing like what can they push this system to do. But if they're going to start switching to cards, oh dear.
Yeah, but we'll be in 85 for a while.
I suppose we will, won't we? Yeah.
Yeah, compared to 84, which is basically almost done.
So when do we actually start playing some Master System games or Mark III games?
Late 85.
Late 85.
Yeah.
Oh, not long.
So we'll get there, my friend. We'll get there.
That's really bad when you're craving Master System games.
I know. And I don't even think I'm going to like the Master System a whole bunch. I'm just going to throw it out there.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, compared to the SG-1000, I'm sure it's going to be just like sweet, sweet relief.
Well,
But
no, see, what a lot of people don't realize is compared to the NES, it's people aren't going to like this, but it kind of in the power department kicks its ass.
no, oh yeah, for
Really,
sure.
really bad. But anyway, we'll get there.
Indeed.
I just want to say to people out there thinking, God, these Sega fanboys, all they're doing is talking about. If you'd actually listened or seen what we've done in the last 2 years, you would think, what the hell are these Nintendo fanboys doing to Sega podcast for? But anyway, so, yeah.
Sega will really start to hit its stride very soon, and I look forward to it because while I'm still a Nintendo fanboy, I really appreciate Sega. And I mean, I had a Genesis growing up. I just didn't have many games for it, and a Mega Drive, if you will. And and I acknowledge that it's a great system and has a lot of great exclusive titles. And I just know that Sega's a very interesting company and an experimental company, and I want to explore that. And that's why we have this podcast and site. So thank you all for listening.
Yes.
Thank you all for commenting.
Yeah, so keep commenting and talk to us on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle, Dylan?
It is at the Dylan the.
There you go. Get in contact there.
What's your Twitter handle, sir?
What is it? Good question. At the pixel_dude. So talk to us there. Get in contact. Leave comments. Get people involved. iTunes reviews. Anything. Just get involved. We want to talk to you. We want to know what people think about the SG-1000 because soon this is going to be the premier and only place to get SG-1000 information in quantity. So
it's
get in there.
It's pretty
first.
amazing. It's pretty amazing when you like because I'm interested in like, okay, well, let's see if I can find information on Mahjong for the SG-1000. There's nothing. There's
Nope.
nothing. There's no information for 90% of these games. And
I don't know.
while
I'm gonna start an August fan site.
A what?
An August fan site.
Oh, an August. And then not invite me, right? You won't invite me.
C minus.
But there's just nothing out there, and I'm not going to say my reviews are like the epitome of the right. There's not like it's a right opinion, but at least it's something.
It's an opinion, which is better than nothing.
It's something out there, and
even
so
if it is a C minus.
I'm glad to be contributing to the knowledge of the internet, such as it is.
Come
on,
people, back me up. We're gonna get
play Orgus.
We're gonna get this changed.
Oh boy,
bees are coming.
No,
I bet you're glad you didn't give me any authoritative rights on the website now.
Just say, yeah, I am actually.
By the way, it's a B.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Just change that Golgo 13 down to a D. There we go. That's everything sorted, right? Okay. So until next time, enjoy Sega.
Yes, enjoy Sega.
Sega!